Genesis 1 verse 4. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God saw that the light was good. This is the first instance in the Bible where God pronounces something good. The declaration that the light was good is significant, as it reveals something about God's nature and his intentions for creation. It implies that light, in its essence, reflects God's goodness and is beneficial for the world. The word good, in Hebrew, tov, can mean functional, pleasing, and morally upright. This evaluation also suggests that everything God creates is inherently good, setting the tone for the subsequent creation acts. The goodness of light here can be understood both physically and symbolically. Physically, light is essential for life and growth. It allows the earth to be illuminated and supports the processes that sustain living creatures. Symbolically, light is associated with truth, knowledge, and righteousness throughout Scripture. By declaring light good, God is affirming both the functional and moral goodness of what he has brought into being. He separated the light from the darkness. The act of separation is key to understanding how God is bringing order to creation. In the ancient world, chaos was often symbolized by unbounded, undifferentiated states, and order was seen as a process of dividing, distinguishing, and giving structure. By separating light from darkness, God is bringing clarity and distinction to what was previously indistinguishable. This separation reflects God's power to impose boundaries and limits, turning chaos into cosmos, order. Theologically, this separation can be seen as a moral and spiritual distinction as well. Throughout the Bible, light and darkness often represent the contrast between good and evil, truth and falsehood, righteousness and sin. For example, in Isaiah 5 verse 20, it says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness." In this way, God's act of separating light from darkness is also a metaphor for his role as a moral judge, establishing a clear distinction between what is good and what is evil. The importance of distinction in creation. This verse introduces an important theme in the creation narrative: the importance of separation and distinction in bringing about order. As the days of creation unfold, God will continue this work of separation, dividing waters, land, plants, animals, creating categories that allow the world to function in harmony. This act of separation suggests that boundaries and distinctions are necessary for the world to flourish. Without distinction, there would be confusion and disorder. In our daily lives, the principle of separation can apply to areas of moral discernment, clarity of thought, and purposeful living. Just as God separated light from darkness, humans are called to distinguish between what is right and wrong, between productive and harmful choices. A foreshadowing of spiritual conflict. This separation of light and darkness can also be viewed as a foreshadowing of the spiritual battle between good and evil that will unfold throughout the Bible. Darkness, which was present at the beginning, is not eliminated but is set apart from the light. It remains in the background, symbolizing the potential for chaos or sin to re-enter the world. However, by introducing light, God asserts his authority and control over darkness. In the New Testament, this theme is echoed in John 1 verse 5. "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Here, Christ is identified as the true light who ultimately triumphs over the forces of darkness. The battle between light and darkness, both literal and spiritual, begins in Genesis and finds its culmination in the work of Christ. Genesis 1 verse 4 builds upon the previous verse by showing God's active role in bringing order to creation. By declaring the light good and separating it from the darkness, God establishes a fundamental distinction that will shape the rest of the creation process. The goodness of light reflects God's nature, and the separation of light from darkness symbolizes the establishment of order, morality, and clarity in a once chaotic universe. It also hints at deeper spiritual themes that will continue to develop throughout the Bible, especially the ultimate triumph of light over darkness.